Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. For today's episode, I want to talk about Nedu Wazobia's alleged scholarship fraud, as alleged by very dark man. Now, Nedu is in hot waters. I actually feel sorry for him at this point because everybody is just coming out of the woodworks. Yvonne Jegede gave a statement. Mr. Nigeria 2024 came out, talked about his experience. Lucky Udu gave his own interview or gave his own perspective of trying to work with Nedu. Saida Bosch came out and also talked about her own experience. Now, for some of you who don't know the genesis of the problem, let me just take you back a bit. When it all started, Nedu Wazobia, who is one of the hosts of the Honest Bunch podcast, invited D1 to the show. Or D1, according to the story, reached out to Nedu and husband material and said he wanted to be on the show. They allowed D1. Now, D1 came on the show. He talked about a whole lot of things, but Nedu kind of asked about his beef with very dark man. Now, for some of you who don't know, D1 has been pressing in the neck of VDM because, according to him, VDM, when he said he allegedly or people hacked his account or hackers hacked his NGO and stole money, D1 since then has not let go of VDM. Now, Nedu invited D1 and then asked D1 what his problem with VDM is. D1 proceeded to talk about the issues, talking about embezzlement, about 20 million naira that VDM embezzled from his NGO and depositing that money to purchase a Range Rover. He also talked about VDM being gay. He said he has evidence, video evidence of VDM and a man doing the thing. He said he actually gave Nedu the phone and Nedu, gave his usual reactions. Now, after that show aired, that went viral. A lot of people started talking. VDM came out and said that he is not going after D1 because the person who invited D1 to the show, Nedu, who he thought was his friend. But according to him, Nedu invited D1 to get back at him for refusing to come on the show. He said that Nedu promised to buy him a car if he appeared on the show. And very dark black man, he has issues with a whole lot of people. And I think one of the reasons why Nedu wanted him on the show was because now we can see the playbook is because of his issue with the Falanas, the family of lawyers. So I think Nedu knew that if he could get VDM on the show, if they could sit down with him for over an hour, definitely he's going to say certain things that he's not meant to say. And because they have control of those footages, they could edit it whichever way they want to edit the show. So VDM turned him down. Now, according to VDM, that was the reason why he invited D1 on the show to kind of humiliate him or to kind of tell lies against him. VDM went after Nedu and the Honest Bunch podcast. Now, they released the statements. They said they don't have control over what their guests say. And ladies and gentlemen, this week we didn't have any episode of the Honest Bunch podcast. Now, we're just thinking, okay, this is, let's just leave these people because according to the story, when VDM actually started attacking Nedu, they said he was hospitalized. So VDM said that because of that, he kind of leaned back from sharing all the evidences that he had. Lucky Udu came out and said that before he wanted to share his own side of the story because there was a point where Gege, who was on the podcast, talked about Lucky Udu, that if anybody appears on Lucky Udu's show, that person is his life or career has ended. So that was the narrative that was going on about Lucky Udu's show at that point. So Lucky Udu said that the management reached out to Nedu so that they can at least clear the air or give their own side of the story. Nedu told him that they've invited Gege, that if he's going to come on the show, according to what Lucky Udu said, Nedu allegedly belittled him. So he felt bad. He felt, there's somehow you can talk to somebody, according to Lucky Udu, that he felt like, he's nothing. Yvonne Jegede, who was also on that podcast, gave a statement saying that she should be left out of the whole drama, because when she came out and talked about the way the Honest Bunch narrated, or the way they edited the show to make her look bad, or the promos that was run on that show, the way they made it look as if she is a bad person, and she got a whole lot of backlash. She said that even her son was attacked, and when she reached out to Nedu on the Honest Bunch podcast, Nedu came out and they put out a statement saying that she's just being dramatic. So that was for Yvonne Jegede. The other person that went on the Honest Bunch podcast that didn't have a good experience is Saida Borge. So Saida Borge went on the show and said that she is not going to reply anybody who has not spent at least 20 million on her. People are like, hey, that is even viral on its own. But according to Saida Borge, there's a statement that she, or the Honest Bunch podcast put out, or the video that they promoted, where she said that she slept with a married man. The married man broke her heart. He used her. He dumped her, and she feels sorry for married women. So that was the clip or the video that the Honest Bunch put out regarding Saida Borge. So Saida Borge went really viral. In fact, her page was taken down. That was how angry Nigerians were, and they reported her page. Now, according to what Saida Borge is saying right now, she said that she actually reached out to Nedu to say that she didn't say those things. According to her, somebody actually sent her a DM to say that she slept with a married man, and the married man used her, dumped her, broke her heart. So the Honest Bunch podcast, what they did, according to Saida Borge, they kind of cut out the clip where she said that somebody reached out to her via DM. So they made it look as if Saida Borge was the one who slept with a married man, and who a married man used. So people are like, okay, you won't reply a DM for 20 million, but a married man used and dumped you. So it was such a bad publicity for Saida Borge at that time. But I think Saida Borge was smart enough to use that publicity, although her page was deactivated, but she came back stronger. And today Saida Borge has released music. She's doing well for herself. Now back to the story at hand. VDM came out and said that somebody sent him a message. So before then, Nedu actually shared that his NGO is sponsoring students in the UK. That if you want to get a scholarship, fully funded scholarship, you should register. They did a funding, organized an event, did a funding. And I was sitting down thinking, a Nigerian living in Nigeria, organizing a scholarship for students. I mean, we have a lot of Nigerians in Nigeria that they need money to pay school fees. They need money to maybe pay even accommodation fees, even students, even maybe feeding money. So here is somebody in Nigeria coming out to say that they want to sponsor somebody to study in the UK. I was like, the audacity. But I just thought, well, that is what they want to do. That is the brand that they want to create. So now, ladies and gentlemen, VDM came out and said that the sponsors or the owners of the scholarship idea actually reached out to Nedu for him to be like a brand ambassador, for him to be the brand ambassador, for him to be able to promote the brand. But for some reason, Nedu was able to cajole them because according to the messages, the way Nedu went about it, allegedly, he literally cajoled them to say, listen, nobody knows you. You are not famous. Nobody knows your brand. But if I say that this is my scholarship, this is coming from Nedu, that a whole lot of people will key into it and actually provide funding for some of these students. That was how they were like, okay, that makes sense. Be the face and use your name. That was how Nedu became, the scholarship is now Nedu's scholarship, or Nedu's foundation scholarship, or something like that. Now, they are saying that Nedu gave them a bill of over, I think, 80 million naira or 60 million naira for them to run the events, or for them to run PR leading to the fundraisers that they will, because at the end of the day, these people don't even have the money, so they're trying to put this together to get fund. I smell fraud, but anyway, let's just pack that for now. So they paid Nedu 80 million naira because Nedu listed everything that he wanted to use the money for. He said he's going to pay Linda Ikeji for visibility, he's going to pay Tunde Ednot, he's going to pay Instablog. But Nedu, being Nedu, according to what VDM said, when they paid, first of all, I think they paid 40 million, then they paid, I think it was 60 million. They paid the money to Nedu, and immediately all the money got into Nedu's account. He stopped replying them. He said that they said that they organized the show, or Nedu organized the show. All the people that Nedu said was going to be there, they were not there. Nedu did not pay Lida Nkeji. Nedu did not pay Instablog. There was no visibility. The people that actually advertised the show are people who maybe owe Nedu a favor. Timaya was there. Timaya video call or FaceTimed Casey. Casey and Timaya endorsed it. Badebo Rhodes Vivor, who was on the show, on the podcast, because the video was when he was on the podcast, he also endorsed the Nedu Scholarship Foundation. Everybody thinking that this is Nedu's way of trying to give back to the community. One of the conditions also that the organizers of the show or the owners of the scholarship wanted was for all the money raised to go into their own account. But according to them, when Nedu eventually organized the show, he put his own account details. So every money that was raised after paying Nedu 80 million naira for allegedly paying Nedu 80 million naira or 60 million naira for publicity, and then Nedu also used his own account to collect all the donations that people donated during the events. These people are now crying, saying that Nedu defrauded them. I don't even know what to say, because I think at this point Nedu needs to come out and say something. This is just too bad, because at the end of the day, if he did not say anything and this gets to stake, it's going to be very bad for him and his brand. People may not trust him or trust working with him anymore. So this is what is going on. And I don't even know, because initially when I saw that, I knew that something was fishy. Maybe Nedu smelt it and decided to not to use their account and to use his own account. But if somebody is contacting you or contracting you to do a job, if for whatever reason you see that, okay, these people are fraudulent, or these people are not genuine, or these people are trying to defraud people, you can always pull back from that project and refund their money. Even if you're going to run with the idea, refund their money, because I don't even understand why he would take the money, allegedly, organize the show, and then also used his own account to receive all the donations that came from the show, without paying any of the influencers that he said he was going to pay. For me, I just think that these are two fraudulent people. You know, people in the UK trying to defraud people in Nigeria, claiming, scholarship for everybody, then organizing the show, thinking, okay, if we give Nedu 60 or 80 million, people are going to pay maybe over 500 million. So they kind of using a bait to get more money. So I think that was what that 80 million or that 60 million was for. Maybe Nedu caught on to that and decided to even outsmart them in their own game, thinking that nobody's going to believe them. I mean, he's Nedu Wazobia. So these people, they don't even know nobody knows who they are, because it's an organization. So he was thinking that he's bigger than them, so nobody is going to even hear about it, not to talk of questioning him. But because of this issue with VDM, this whole thing has come to light. I just want to know, do you think that Nedu got what he deserved, or do you think that those other people got what they deserve? Because what I see here is two fraudulent people. One got to outsmart the other. Let me know what you think. Anyway, this is just an unfolding story, and I am committed to getting to the root of it. I will bring you updates as it drops. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.